Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, readers of all persuasions. It is I, Gayla, and welcome back to Book Uncorked and Caffeinated. And welcome to Bookmas Day 22. Can you imagine we're at day 22? And so as I'm thinking about the content moving forward, I've thought about all the books that I said I was going to read. So I want to update you on my 25 for 25 list. So, and I'll have the picture up here. I made a video last year around this time about the books that I wanted to read in 2025, and I made a list of 25 books specifically because they were like big boy books, right? So I wanted to read all these series. I wanted to read all these. I wanted to introduce myself to fantasy and romantasy and just take my reading to a different level. And did I do that? So put in the comments right now how many books you think I read off my 25 for 25 list. Go ahead, do it. Give you a couple of seconds. How many books do you think I read on my 25 to 25 list? Yes, 3. It's so funny because I read, as of date, 96 books. And of those 96 books, 3 came off my 25 for 25 list. And so what I've learned truly about myself this year is that I'm totally a mood reader. And it's not like I don't want to read any of these books because I have a vested interest in them, but I'm a total mood reader. And TBRs aren't really my thing. Like, I have an idea of what I want to read, but to say I'm going to read these books is really, it's not that it's hard for me, it's just that I am a actual mood reader. So it was 25 books on my list. On the actual picture, it was 22 books. And 3 of those books was continued in the series, so I bought them. So one of the books was Accomplice to the Villain. That was the 3rd book in the trilogy. Then we had Oathbound, that hadn't come out yet. And then I throw up a picture of, I think it's Fearless, from the Powerful series. And so that made my 25 for 25. So that's why when I talked about in a past video, I had 25 books and I had 30, then I had 50. It kept going back and forth because I hadn't really read a lot of these books. But the books that I did read were the Davenports. So the Davenports is a duology, and it's actually a YA read, a young adult read, and I really enjoyed this book. This book is considered like a historical fiction about an African-American family in the early 1900s, and they were entrepreneurs in Chicago, and it talks about them being entrepreneurs, but it also talks about them like going through some political strife. And if you can imagine, in the beginning of the 1900s, with, you know, coming out of slavery and women fighting for their rights to vote, and, you know, African Americans still not being considered full citizens, even though we had considered free at the time. So this book was very interesting. Like I said, it came from the dynamics of being a YA, but it didn't really read as a YA because I think because of all the serious conversations that were had, like being married and being married young and having entrepreneurship and, you know, being a woman wanting to do different things. So this was a really good read. This is a good read to do with young people. If you like taught English and you want to talk about a particular time in history, it gives you a little bit of Chicago history and things of that nature. So the follow-up to this, I have not yet read. So I've only read this book in this duology. The next book that I was able to complete was Island Queen by Vanessa Riley. This book is also considered a historical fiction. It's about a woman who transitioned from being an enslaved person to being a free person, but also being an entrepreneur and having land ownership and being able to buy the freedom of her family members. This was a very heavy book because this FMC actually went through a lot. It has some abuse in there, some violence in there, some essay in there. And so this person went through a lot. And so the follow-up to that, which is right here, which is Queen of the Exiles, I've read some of it. And I'll admit, I finished this via audio. So I think that also took the sensation of reading this book out for me when I got to the second book. So I'm probably going to do that on Audible or audio as well. And then the last book that I was actually able to read was The Housemaid Tales by Frida McFadden. And I'll have that on the screen. I actually have the book. I can't find it. But yeah, I like Frida McFadden writings. Frida McFadden is kind of like an auto read for me, not an auto by author, even though I have this series, but she is an auto read for me. So I read that, and I really started reading that because I know there's a movie adaptation coming out, and so I really want to be prepared for that. But I actually really enjoyed this book. Some of it gets mixed reviews, so yeah, I really actually like it, and I'm going to continue with the series, but I have yet to do so. So it's not like I don't want to read these books. I just am a super mood reader, and so I want to be more intentional. As I said in my past few videos, did I say The Housemaid Tales? I think it's just The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I'm going on a tangent. The video, the picture of the book will be up, but I want to be more intentional about what I read on my shelf. And so these books are all on my shelf. So I will eventually read them. I just didn't complete them for my 25 for 25. So that's why I didn't make a list for 2026. There are things that I want to do and reading kind of challenges I want to present to myself, but they all have to do with reading from my shelf. So I know that I will get to these books. But it is an early morning. It is a holiday morning. I have my holiday cup. You know, I'm into my cups. These are my Rae Dunn cups. I'm having some delicious coffee, and I'm just gonna muddle about. Life is lifing, but I'm here in the land of the living, and I love it. And so enjoy your holidays. We have a couple of more days together with Bookmas. And as always, drop a book stack in the comments. Let me know what you're reading, what you plan on reading. Did you have a list? Did you read anything from my list? And if you did, let me know how you enjoy it. But until then, do all of the things. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Deuces, bye.